Welcome back to Source Sparkz. In today's explainer, we're finally settling the ultimate fitness debate. On one side, you have the raw, primal power of bodyweight training, and on the other, the engineered precision of weightlifting. So, which path is actually right for your aesthetic and functional goals? We're going to break down both approaches directly from the source material, and then I'll walk you through a definitive, no-nonsense beginner playbook so you can actually get results no matter which route you choose.
Here is what we're covering today. We'll look at the financial reality, the ultimate beginner trap, engineering versus athleticism, progression and vibes, the ultimate hybrid approach, and finally, your beginner fitness playbook.
Section 1. The financial reality, calisthenics versus gym cost.
Look, before we even talk about building muscle, we have to talk about accessibility, right? Because the budget is the one factor that immediately makes or breaks the journey for most people. And the absolute biggest, most immediate advantage of calisthenics is that the cost is essentially $0. Gravity doesn't charge rent. It means your cost to train in your bedroom, out at a local park, or hanging from a door frame is literally zero.
But man, compare that to a gym. A gym membership is a serious, ongoing investment. You're easily looking at $40 to $100 a month. And if you're thinking, hey, I'll just build a home gym with a squat rack and barbells, well, you are easily a grand deep before you even curl your first dumbbell. So if budget is your primary driver, calisthenics just completely wipes the floor with the gym.
Section 2. The ultimate beginner trap, tutorial versus hard mode. Now this is where things get really interesting, because the sources completely flip a very common assumption. On paper, calisthenics seems super simple, right? Just you and gravity. But for a beginner, it's actually jumping straight into hard mode. Why? Because there's no lightweight mode in calisthenics. You are forced to lift your entire body weight right from day one. That means getting your very first pull-up could be a grinding, weeks, or even months-long process.
Conversely, the gym is basically what you'd call beginner heaven. It provides a vastly friendlier and safer on-ramp. You can grab a tiny 2-kilo dumbbell or sit at a cardio machine that guides your exact motion. This lets you build strength safely and rack up fast wins, which is huge for keeping motivation high. Especially for anyone starting out a bit overweight, that scalable resistance makes the gym the clear winner for early beginners.
Section 3. Engineering versus athleticism. The strength divide.
Okay, so what happens once you get past that beginner phase? Well, both paths build serious muscle, but they engineer completely different types of physiques. The gym is basically a construction project. It's the undisputed king if you want maximum muscle size and perfect symmetry. You can laser focus on isolation tools to build a physique that literally looks carved out of stone. Calisthenics, on the other hand, is about building the human machine. It focuses on functional power and raw body control. You aren't just pumping up a bicep to flex it in the mirror. You're teaching your core, your balance, and your coordination to fire together as a single athletic unit.
Section 4. Progression and gym vibes. Plates versus skill levels.
Knowing what kind of physique you want is crucial, but how do you actually track your progress day to day? In the gym, progression is beautifully simple. You just slap 5 more pounds on the bar or do 1 extra rep. The numbers in your logbook do not lie. But calisthenics? That is a skill-building grind. You don't just add a plate. You have to physically level up to harder variations. Moving from a regular push-up to an archer push-up or unlocking your first muscle-up takes months of serious, deliberate discipline.
And we really have to talk about the environment, because it plays a huge role in that discipline. Calisthenics offers pure, unadulterated freedom, but your only training partner might be the blistering heat or a rainstorm. It demands massive self-motivation. The gym, though, gives you built-in accountability. You've got blasting music, slamming weights, and the hype of seeing other people hit personal records right next to you. All of that unconsciously pushes you to train way harder than you ever would alone.
Section 5. The ultimate hybrid approach. Best of both worlds.
So, is one path safer or better than the other? Actually, that's a total myth. Both methods are completely safe and effective, provided you drop your ego and avoid sloppy form. And here is the absolute best part. You don't even have to choose just one. A hybrid approach is incredible. You can mix them together, grabbing the functional mobility of calisthenics while using the gym's precision tools to maximize your size and symmetry. It really is the best of both worlds.
All right, so how do we actually get started? Because whether you choose the primal power of the park, the construction project of the gym, or that hybrid sweet spot, the mechanics of success are exactly the same. Section 6. Your Beginner Fitness Playbook. The 5 Pillars of Muscle Growth. Let's break down a unified, step-by-step foundational plan so you actually succeed. These are the 5 pillars of guaranteed muscle growth. Pillar 1. Pick a plan. Structure beats instinct every single time. If your training is random, your results will be random too. Pillar 2. Master your execution. Leave your ego at the door, guys. 10 reps with perfect form will always build more muscle than 10 sloppy, cheating reps.
Pillar 3 is intensity. You could have the most perfect program in the universe, but if you're breezing through it like a light warm-up, you are totally wasting your time. A flawless plan means absolutely nothing if you leave your workout feeling fresh. You have to get uncomfortable. Give your muscles a real reason to adapt and fight back.
Once your form and intensity are dialed in, you hit Pillar 4, progressive overload. And don't worry, this isn't about making massive ego-driven jumps in weight. It's about tiny, measured changes over weeks to force the muscle to keep growing. You just add 1 kilo, push out 1 extra rep, reduce your rest by 10 seconds, or slow down your tempo. Track those little wins and watch them compound.
This quote right here perfectly captures the core philosophy of our explainer today. Showing up is a great first step for sure, but the real magic, that happens in the grind. And that brings us to the 5th and final pillar, consistency. Going hard for 1 week is easy. Remaining consistent over years is what actually builds an incredible physique. So as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. Tomorrow, whether you are out gripping a rusty pull-up bar in the park or picking up a shiny dumbbell under the fluorescent lights of a gym, I want you to ask yourself, are you actually training to build your machine, or are you just checking boxes? The choice is entirely up to you.